The movie begins in Japan with a student named Takahata. He stood out among his classmates because he was exceptionally intelligent. However, his intelligence made him feel bored with life. One day, while he was in class and the teacher was writing on the board, the teacher's head suddenly exploded, revealing a strange talking toy named Daruma. This toy initiated a deadly game with the students. If it turned its face toward them and saw anyone moving, their head would explode instantly. However, when it turned its back, the students were free to move. Daruma began rotating its face, and the moment it spotted a moving student, it killed them. Those who panicked and tried to run were also eliminated immediately. The game continued, with Daruma repeatedly saying its name while the terrified students asked, "What should we do?" Additionally, whenever Daruma killed a student, small red spheres would emerge from their body. Two students attempted to take advantage of the brief moments when Daruma turned away and ran toward the door, trying to open it, only to find it securely locked. Moments later, Daruma turned back and killed them as well, sending the remaining students into a frenzy of fear. A student named Scatty tried to calm them down, saying, "I know this game. It's Daruma. We're trapped in it until it kills us all. But there's a button on its back. If we press it, the game will end." One student made a fatal mistake, rushing toward the button in an attempt to press it. However, Daruma sensed him, turned around swiftly, and killed him. This was Daruma's strategy. It spoke slowly but reacted instantly when it sensed someone approaching. The students then noticed a timer on Daruma's back, showing that they had only 1 minute left. If time ran out, everyone would die. They desperately tried to reach the button, but some slipped on the scattered spheres. When Daruma turned around, it eliminated them. The classroom quickly turned into a sea of corpses, leaving only 10 seconds on the timer. The only survivors were Takahata and Scatty. Determined to win, the two devised a plan. Scatty crouched down while Takahata jumped off his back, propelling himself toward the toy and pressing the button just in time. Daruma collapsed, visibly upset by its defeat. Takahata and Scatty celebrated their survival, until suddenly, Scatty's head exploded. Daruma then announced that the only winner was the one who pressed the button himself, Takahata. In shock, Takahata struggled to process what had just happened. Daruma then ominously stated, "The cat will be coming soon," hinting at the next challenge. Suddenly, the classroom door opened, revealing his friend Chika, who was in a state of shock. As Takahata approached to check on her, she told him that she had also played Daruma's game, and when she pressed the button, all of her classmates died. "That's exactly what happened to me," Takahata responded. They decided to call the police, but when he pulled out his phone, he found there was no signal. Panicked, they ran toward the school's exits, only to find all the doors locked. Takahata tried breaking a window, but it wouldn't shatter. Finally, they found an open door and entered, leading them into the school's gymnasium. The moment they stepped inside, the door shut behind them, trapping them once again. However, this time, they weren't alone. Other students were also inside, some wearing mouse costumes. Takahata quickly realized they were in a new game, as a message was written on the floor: "Put the ball in the basket to win." Suddenly, the ground shook, and a massive cat-shaped statue emerged. Without warning, the giant cat devoured a student wearing a mouse costume. It then started moving toward the other students in similar outfits, consuming them one by one. This challenge was even harder than the previous one, and panic spread as students ran for their lives. The giant cat then lunged toward Takahata and Chika, but ignored them since they weren't wearing mouse costumes. At that moment, Chika noticed a ball rolling on the floor, while Takahata spotted a basketball hoop attached to the giant cat's body. That's when he realized the only way to win was to throw the ball into the cat's hoop. Takahata tells the students about this situation. A skilled basketball player asks Chika to pass him the ball. When he gets it, he throws it toward the cat's basket, and it was about to go in, but the cat blocks it. The cat grabs the ball and throws it back at the player with immense force, slamming him into the wall and killing him instantly. Then, the cat looks at Takahata but does not attack him. Instead, it scans the other students, focusing on those wearing the mouse costume. At that moment, Takahata realizes that the cat only eats those dressed as mice. He warns the students and tells them to take off the costume. All the students follow his advice, believing they are now safe. However, suddenly the cat starts moving again, but this time it begins eating everyone, regardless of what they are wearing. Panic spreads, and the students run in terror around the court. Chica notices the ball lying beside her, and there is a countdown timer on it. Only 3 minutes remain. At that moment, the cat approaches Chica, ready to devour her. When Takahata sees that his friend is about to die, he quickly puts on the mouse costume to distract the cat. His plan works. The cat immediately leaves Chica and chases after him instead. Takahata keeps running back and forth, trying to confuse the cat, and desperately asks someone to throw him the ball. However, all the students are too afraid, remembering what happened to the basketball player. Then, Takahata hears a strange noise and realizes it's coming from the mouse costume he's wearing. He suddenly stops moving. The cat, instead of attacking, seems to want someone to scratch its back. Understanding this, Takahata quickly jumps onto the cat's back, grabs a rope attached to it, and starts scratching. The cat immediately smiles and stops attacking. It just wanted someone to keep scratching its back. Takahata calls the other students to help him. Chica rushes to assist, and when the others see that this strategy is working, they all climb onto the cat's back and start scratching it. Gradually, the cat becomes drowsy and finally falls into a deep sleep. Seizing the opportunity, Takahata grabs the ball and prepares to throw it into the basket. But suddenly, the other students rush toward him, each wanting to be the one to throw the ball. They fear that only the person who makes the shot will survive. A heated argument breaks out. Their loud voices wake the cat, which immediately kills 2 students with its claws. Takahata realizes they won't have enough time to put it back to sleep, but then an idea strikes him. He takes a torn basketball and tells Chica to grab the cat's special ball and hide behind the locker room. Then, the 2 of them come out, each holding a ball while wearing the mouse costume. They move toward the cat from opposite sides. The cat becomes confused, unsure which ball it should block. However, Takahata accidentally reveals that he is holding a regular basketball, making the cat realize that Chica has the real one. The cat grabs Chica's ball and blocks it. But this was part of Takahata's plan all along. While the cat is focused on Chica's ball, he throws his, revealing that inside it was the cat's actual special ball. Unfortunately, the ball misses the basket and everyone thinks they've lost the challenge. But suddenly, a student named Amaya appears behind the cat, grabs the ball, and dunks it into the basket, winning the game at the very last second. The cat completely stops moving and announces the end of the game. Moments later, it reactivates and declares that the winners are Takahata, Chica, and Amaya, without mentioning any other students. Takahata asks what will happen to the remaining students. Suddenly, Amaya begins killing all the losing students. He is revealed to be a psychopath who enjoys living in a world where the strong dominate the weak. He then turns to Takahata and Chica and says, "We are the ones who won. That means we are the only ones who deserve to live." Chica responds angrily, "You're insane. You can't compare yourself to us." This enrages Amaya, and he prepares to kill her. But Takahata intervenes and stops him. Then, the cat releases a white smoke, and the 3 students suddenly disappear. News reports reveal that the same challenges are occurring in schools all over the world, and it appears that more than 10 million students have lost their lives. The media begins covering the mysterious disappearances, while some broadcasters speculate that aliens are behind these events. We then see massive cubes hovering in the sky. Inside the cube assigned to Japan, Takahata wakes up to find himself face-to-face with an old friend from another school, Takusa, whom he once dated. Along with Takusa, 2 other students from different schools, Tara and Taka, have also survived the Daruma challenge and the cat challenge in their respective schools. Takahata quickly realizes that all the students in his room have names that start with the letter T. He also notices that each room appears to contain students whose names share the same first letter. Remembering that both Chica and Amaya's names start with the same letter, he becomes worried that they might be in the same room together. Panicking, he rushes to the door, only to find it locked. He pounds on it and shouts, hoping someone will hear him. However, Tara, a highly intelligent yet arrogant young man, interrupts him. Tara tells Takahata that no one is coming to save them and then projects a holographic news broadcast showing the ongoing events worldwide. Takahata realizes that he is inside one of the floating cubes. Tara then informs him that they are trapped here, and all they can do now is wait for the next challenge. Suddenly, a knock is heard at the door. 4 eerie dolls float into the room and announce that the 3rd challenge is about to begin, and that it will be even more difficult than the previous ones. One of the dolls then selects Tara to play first. Confident in his own abilities, Tara immediately agrees. The dolls explain the rules of the game. Tara must sit on the floor with his eyes covered. The dolls will then circle around him while singing a song. When the song ends, they will ask him, "Who is standing behind you?" As the game begins, the dolls sing and move around Tara. When the song stops, they ask, "Who is standing behind you?" Tara, feeling nervous, gives the wrong answer. He immediately loses the challenge. One of the dolls fires a laser beam at him, taking full control of his body. Unable to resist, Tara repeatedly smashes his own head against the ground until he dies. After his brutal death, the dolls select Taka to play next. Terrified, she refuses, but the dolls warn her that if she doesn't participate, she will be killed instantly. Left with no choice, she agrees to play. The game begins again. With her eyes covered, the dolls sing and circle around her before asking, "Who is standing behind you?" But Taka, paralyzed by fear, hesitates for too long, losing the challenge. She tries to flee, but the dolls trap her and fire a laser beam at her. This time, instead of controlling her movements, the dolls force her legs apart and begin pulling them with immense force. The sickening sound of bones cracking fills the room as her body is torn in half. Next, the dolls turn to Takusa, preparing to make her the next player. But before they can proceed, Takahata steps forward and interrupts, saying, "I want to play instead of her." The dolls accept his request, and the game begins once more. The dolls move around Takahata, singing as before. When the song ends, they ask, "Who is standing behind you?" To everyone's surprise, Takahata gives the correct answer. Shocked, the dolls ask, "How did you know?" He calmly replies, "I memorized your movements while watching you play with Taka and Tara." The moment he succeeds, the dolls vanish into thin air, leaving behind a key. Takahata and Takusa take the key and exit the room together. Takahata and his team spot a student running while clutching a key, with one of the dolls chasing him. The student urgently warns them that they must hold hands, as the doll kills anyone standing alone. Seeing that they are holding hands, the doll loses interest and searches for another isolated student. With this, Takahata's team now possesses 2 keys. Suddenly, they hear a strange noise and follow it, only to discover that it's Chika who is chasing the doll. Takahata rushes to save him, grabbing his hand at the last second before the doll can kill him. At that moment, a giant wooden head appears on the wall, displaying a countdown timer and 7 key slots. The head speaks. 7 people must insert 7 keys to complete the challenge. Takahata's team soon encounters 2 other students, each holding a key, bringing their group to 6 people with 4 keys. This means they still need 1 more person and 3 additional keys, with only 2 minutes remaining. As the group starts to lose hope, Amaya suddenly appears and tosses the remaining 3 keys in front of them. He is accompanied by another student. However, since there are now 8 people, Amaya coldly kills the other student, saying, "I only needed him to hold my hand so the doll wouldn't kill me." Disgusted by Amaya's actions, Takahata has no choice but to accept him as part of the team since he is necessary to complete the challenge. They insert the 7 keys into the wooden head, which then announces the challenge's completion. It orders them to change into new outfits before disappearing and opening a tunnel for them to pass through. The team proceeds through the tunnel, only to find themselves in a bizarre place. Suddenly, the ground shakes beneath them, and a massive white polar bear emerges before them. The bear performs a brief show, then stops and speaks in a chilling voice. "I hate lies." It then explains the next challenge. "I will ask you questions, and you must answer truthfully. If someone lies, you must identify them or sacrifice one of your own to proceed to the next stage." After explaining the rules, the bear asks the first question, "What is your favorite meal?" Seeing that the question is easy, everyone answers. However, the bear suddenly sniffs the air and declares, "I smell a lie." It gives them only 2 minutes to identify the liar or sacrifice someone. A heated debate erupts, with everyone accusing each other. Suspicion quickly falls on one student who answered, "My favorite meal is vegetables." The others argue that vegetables alone are not a full meal. The student desperately defends himself, saying, "I'm not lying. I really love vegetables." But the decision has already been made, and the bear crushes him instantly. The bear then moves on to the second question. "Do you like Takahata?" Chika and Takusa immediately say they admire him. Amaya and the rest of the students also claim to like him. However, the bear sniffs the air again and states, "There is a liar among you." Without hesitation, Chika accuses Amaya. Amaya doesn't like anyone. A heated argument breaks out, while Takahata wonders aloud, why would someone lie, knowing the bear will always detect the truth? At that moment, the bear grins and says, "Well done, Takahata. You've realized the truth. There is an alien hiding among you in human form, and it has been lying from the start. You must identify and eliminate it, or it will lead to your doom." Upon hearing this, one of the students immediately points at Takusa, saying, "My friend and I are from the same school, and Takahata, Chika, and Amaya are from the same school. But you're the only outsider. We should sacrifice you." Takahata and Chika try to defend her, but time is running out. In the end, the two students from the same school, along with Amaya, vote against Takusa. Since the decision is made by majority, the bear crushes and kills her. Takahata watches in horror as his former lover is reduced to nothing but a pool of blood. The bear prepares to ask the next question, but Takahata suddenly interrupts, saying, "I know who the real liar is." The bear looks surprised and asks, "Who is it?" With confidence, Takahata replies, "You." Everyone is shocked by his claim, but Takahata continues explaining, "Takusa helped me uncover the truth. When she died, her blood washed away the white paint on your body, revealing your true color, black. That means you were the liar and deceiver all along. There was never an actual liar or alien among us. You just made us believe there was one, so we would turn against each other and fight to the death." The bear, realizing it has been exposed, flies into a rage and attempts to crush the students. They quickly flee, with the furious bear chasing them wildly. In its blind rage, the bear stumbles into a pool of scorching liquid, causing the white paint covering its body to melt away completely. At last, its true form is fully revealed, and it accepts defeat, announcing the students' victory in the challenge. The team then moves on to the next trial. This time, a group of small dolls surrounds them and declares, "This is the final challenge." They then explain the rules. One of you will be chosen as Akuma. Akuma must take this box and place it inside the red circle drawn on the ground. After that, the rest of the students must run and hide. When Akuma finds a student, they must call out their name loudly and take them to the prison. If Akuma captures at least 3 students, they win. However, if any free student manages to kick the box out of the circle, Akuma loses. But the box contains a bomb, meaning the student who kicks it will sacrifice themselves to save the others. The challenge lasts until sunset, 1 hour. If Akuma fails to capture at least 3 students before time runs out, they lose. After explaining the rules, one of the dolls pulls out 5 wooden sticks to determine who will be Akuma. Unfortunately for everyone, the role falls upon Amaya, the most ruthless and insane student. The challenge begins. All the students scatter to hide, while Amaya places the box inside the red circle and sets off to hunt them down. He quickly finds the 2 students from the other school. They try to resist, but he overpowers them with ease and throws them into the prison. Takahata and Chika watch from a distance, but Amaya soon spots them and locks onto their location. They try to escape by tying a rope to climb out of a window, but Amaya catches up too quickly. Realizing that they can't escape together, Chika makes a desperate decision. She sacrifices herself by deliberately drawing Amaya's attention to her. He grabs her, giving Takahata just enough time to flee. After locking Chika in the prison, Amaya knows that Takahata is the only one left. He decides to stand guard over the box himself. Meanwhile, Takahata hides in a safe spot as Amaya tries to manipulate him, calling out loudly, "Come on, Takahata, I won't capture you. I've already caught 3 people, which means we can win together." But Takahata wasn't naive. He knew Amaya was lying. Takahata searches frantically for anything he can use until he spots a suit of tin armor. Thinking quickly, he puts it on to shield himself from the explosion when he kicks the box. But he soon realizes a huge problem. The suit is incredibly heavy, restricting his movements. Worse yet, he looks absolutely ridiculous wearing it, even dropping his sword while trying to move. Takahata retreats to the far end of the castle, completely exposed with no way to defend himself. Seeing his perfect opportunity, Amaya smirks arrogantly and removes his helmet, preparing to strike. But suddenly, something feels off. He discovers he's chained. This was Takahata's plan all along. The moment Amaya removed his helmet, Takahata took advantage of the distraction and wrapped the chain around him, preventing him from reaching the box. Takahata smiles, his voice calm but firm. I always found life boring, always looking for something to change. But after everything we've been through, I finally understand its value. I was a fool. People never appreciate what they have until it's gone. And because of these games, I lost my friends. Then, without hesitation, he throws himself off the castle, dragging Amaya down with him. Amaya struggles to resist, but the weight of the armor and the iron chain pull him down as well. At the last moment, Takahata manages to free himself from the heavy suit and escape, while Amaya finds himself trapped, desperately trying to break free. Meanwhile, Takahata climbs to the rooftop and moves toward the box, but exhaustion slows him down. Amaya, after a tremendous effort, finally frees himself from the chains and dashes toward him. In the critical moment, Takahata manages to kick the box out of the circle, freeing his teammates. Everyone panics, bracing for a massive explosion, but nothing happens. They realize there was never a bomb in the box to begin with. Moments later, the sun sets, marking the official end of the challenge. The dolls reappear and deliver a shocking revelation. We lied about the bomb. We just wanted to make the challenge more thrilling. Amaya is furious, believing he was about to die, but the dolls simply laugh and reveal that the final challenge was never meant to be deadly. It was just a game. Suddenly, fireworks light up the sky, and the students celebrate, finally relieved that they have survived. As a reward, the dolls hand out ice cream in honor of their victory. Takahata sits with Chika, talking about the future and what they will do once they leave this place. As they chat, Takahata notices a small inscription on his ice cream stick, but he pays it no mind and continues talking. However, Chika suddenly starts crying, staring at her ice cream stick in horror. When Takahata looks at it, he sees the words written on it. "You are the loser, and you will die." The dolls appear once more, their voices now cold and emotionless. Every challenge you faced was based on skill and intelligence. But in the end, it is luck that decides who lives and who dies. Then, the ultimate truth is revealed. Every single ice cream stick determines each person's fate. Takahata quickly checks his stick. He is lucky. He will survive. Amaya too will live. But Chika, along with the two other students, are marked for death. Before anyone can react, a laser beam is fired from one of the dolls, instantly striking Chika and the others. Takahata watches in pure shock, unable to process what is happening, as they vanish before his very eyes. Takahata and Amaya are transported to the floating cube in Japan, where they are met with thunderous applause and cheers from the audience, celebrating their survival. But amidst all the noise, Takahata is drowning in sorrow, because he lost the one he loved, Chika. And so, the story ends with a moment of triumph, overshadowed by the pain of loss. If you love movies and movie recaps, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for more. Hit like if you enjoyed the video and share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.